Where are you going? To get some food. Maybe we should go together. No, I'll be right back. And while getting to the canteen in a few sprints was not hard at all, I had no idea what to do next. I can't just walk in there like nothing happened. Are you hiding there? I almost jumped out of my skin. Ilana was standing behind me. Getting hungry? She stared at me. Come on, why so quiet? I was tongue-tied for a moment and couldn't think of an answer. So, why have you come? I want to get something for Slavya. Oh, really? Yeah, really. Okay, I'll be right back. Much to my surprise, Yolanda didn't ask any awkward questions. In the blink of an eye, she zipped out of sight through the doors of the canteen. I was wondering whether I should trust her and wait, or I should flee before she returned with backup. However, Yolanda interrupted my doubts quickly as she reappeared in a couple of minutes with a plastic bag in her hands. Here you go! The bag was full of buns and had a few packs of kefir in it. Why? Well, 'cause it's brave and cool. She smiled slyly. Best regards to Slavya. Ilana waved goodbye and ran away. I stood there for some time in confusion, but then went back to the forest. And not just that, it's stupid and childish. You were right. And what should we do then? Let's go. So you think all of this is normal. Fine. She paused for a few moments and turned to Slavya. Go to your cabin. I understand that you're not the one to blame. Slavya didn't move an inch. She just lowered her eyes and held my hand even more tightly. Slavya! As you can see, she doesn't want to. What did you say to seduce her? Oh my god, I said nothing. I started losing my cool. Why do you think we've done something wrong? We haven't done anything, at all. As if I haven't seen it. She grinned. So what have you seen? She paused, but continued a second later in the same tone. I've seen enough. Oh, but Dmitryevna, why do you assume you're right from the start? Why is Simon always to blame for everything? What's so special about what's happened? What have we done wrong? Are you even sure what you are blaming us for? What do you think? Well, maybe we shouldn't hold back. Her words flashed through my head. She's giving her consent. Oh god, am I gonna have to censor? Something wonderful happened between us. Something that I couldn't even dream of 6 days ago. Maybe here it is, the reason for me being in this camp. Overjoyed, I headed back, fully intending to sleep till morning, and a twig snapped nearby. I turned to see what made the noise and saw someone behind a tree. Who's there? I called out, worried. There's no need to scream like that. The voice seemed familiar. Lena! I came closer and saw Lena. What are you doing here? Taking a walk. At this time? What, can't I? No, it's just strange. I leaned against the tree and pondered. She's definitely here for a reason. Besides, we barely made it here. You can't reach this lake on a walk. And even at night, Slavya sleeping a dozen steps away was in clear view. And? What? Were you going to say something? Am I supposed to? Up to you. I don't get what you're saying. Okay. Been here for a while? Not that long. How long is that? Not long. Lena snapped. Alright. Is that all? I don't know. We stood silently a while longer. You should probably get back. Slavya will get cold. So you saw. It was hard not to see. If you think that, well, what am I supposed to think, huh? Seems as clear as day. I guess. So you're not going to say anything? What is there to say? After your show at the square today, words don't seem to be needed. There was no show. It's like I'm justifying myself to her. That's none of your business anyway. Exactly. It's your business. Just be careful. Watch out. What are you talking about? If everything comes to you so easily, you probably won't value it much. Though you should. I don't get it. Well, like Slavya. Bam, this time it's magical. And then you do it another time, and another, and then you get tired of it. Maybe. Lena paused. That's what I'm saying. You need to cherish what you have, even if you don't put much effort into getting it. Today's the last day. Have you forgotten? Last day of what? Last day of the term. To say that her words struck me dumb was an understatement. How? Why? Why so surprised? Didn't you know? It was announced during the lineup. But even at those lineups which I attended, I was just sleeping on my feet. No. Now you know. Slavya smiled naturally. And what should I do? Her words stirred a mass of emotions inside of me. On one hand, I'll get out of this cursed camp at last. I might get some answers. On the other, I have just found something very important to me, and now I have to let it go? It's just now the most important thing to me is you. I understand. She looked at me carefully. Even if I sometimes act the wrong way and talk nonsense, regardless, the main thing for me now is to be with you, and it always will be. I understand that I acted too recklessly and planned stupid ventures, but we can try to make everything right, together, you and me. Vague warming bells began ringing somewhere deep in my mind. I threw the blanket away, jumped up, and fiercely began to look around. Yes, I was in my flat again. At first I was paralyzed. The shock was so strong that my brain was unable to process what was going on. I just stood and gazed at the screen of the monitor on the table opposite me. Midnight. I was about to leave, but suddenly someone emerged from the solid white veil and ran under the bus stop roof. It was clearly a girl, as she had a long ponytail hanging out of her hood. She stood with her back to me, so I couldn't make out her face. Girl, excuse me, has the last bus already left? She asked without turning to me. Where can she be heading to so late? The 410 must be the most cursed brute in the city. Not only does it sometimes take people to another reality, but it can't even arrive when you want it to. There is one more bus coming, just after midnight, I think. Thank you. The smile was clear in her voice. For some reason, I just sat silently, examining the girl. Finally, she spoke. Where are you going so late? Is it really that interesting for her? Just having a walk, I answered thoughtfully. And you, are you here for something important? Well, not really. Just going home. Where do you live? I couldn't help asking. Far away, she said vaguely. And I live nearby. It's a good area. I would say there couldn't be a worse one. I didn't have too many options. You don't like it? Don't know. I got used to it by now. I think that people can be happy anywhere they want. Perhaps. Well, think of it. People live even at the North Pole, in stations, I mean. And in the Sahara Desert, and in many other places. It's the people themselves that are the most important. It's difficult to disagree with you. My comment sounded so philosophical that I unconsciously smiled. You don't sound too honest to me. Now, why would you say that, madame? She laughed quietly. I think you're a good person. Now she turned, and I realized why her voice, stature, and everything else seemed familiar to me. Slavya stood in front of me. For a moment, I lost the ability to speak, but just for a moment. Of course, it could just be a girl who looks like Slavya from my dream. Or am I experiencing the strongest deja vu? The city is not a pioneer camp. I am not wearing a uniform, and it's not summer now. Trying to convince myself that it's just an illusion, I decided to ask a question. Have we met before? She carefully inspected me and smiled. I don't think so, but your face seems familiar. Had you ever been to a pioneer camp as a kid? Of course not, she laughed. When I was born, they'd already been disbanded. Oh, right. Although, I had a dream recently. She thought for a second. Me too. I mean, about the pioneer camp. Maybe that's where we've met, the girl said seriously. Possibly. By the way, my name is Slavya. Actually, my full name is Slavyana, but everyone calls me Slavya. You can do that too. I was about to tell her that I know, but then I stopped short. After all, is it that important to know why Slavia from my dream is standing right here, right now in front of me, at this frozen stop of the charmed bus number 410? After all, there are dreams that you don't want to wake up from. And mine is Simon. What a lovely name. Starts with a 2. Yeah. So, you live far away, don't you? Well, not really. She named the district. I thought it would be somewhere in the south. Why? Don't know. Maybe because you look like a pioneer. Oh, you and your pioneers. Slavia laughed. Maybe we wouldn't ever meet if not for them. Why? Her expression became serious. Just a joke. Listen, do you agree that the world exists because we believe in it? That's like some kind of subjective idealism. Slavia thought for a bit. This school of philosophy became close to me recently. Well, I don't know. I am not that good with these subjects. What are your subjects then? She smiled. Different ones, no doubt. But it's just been a few minutes since we met. But seems like it's been much longer. For some reason, I've got the same feeling. An awkward pause followed. The snowfall has eased, but there was still no bus. I looked at my watch and assumed that it won't arrive at all. Slavia seemed to feel even colder by now, as her cheeks grew more red and her hands were moving frantically, trying to warm her body. Seems like the 410 bus is done for today. I guess, she said sadly. If you want, I started after pulling myself together. What? You can stay at my place. But we've just met. She laughed. She didn't seem frightened even a tiny bit. Yes, I understand, but it's so cold outside. Aren't you afraid? Slavia looked at me playfully. Me? Should I be? Who knows? Who knows? I just suggested it. Don't think anything of that sort. I started to make excuses. I understand. She laughed. If you don't mind, of course. Even though it seemed impossible, she flushed even more. Should we go? Let's wait a bit longer. Maybe it'll arrive. Okay. So what do you do in your spare time? Slavia asked after a while. Well, work at home, kinda. I just couldn't tell her that I did... I just couldn't tell her that I do nothing. Sounds good. Why? Don't know. You have a lot of free time. You don't have to go anywhere, and so on. And you? I asked, trying to change the subject somehow. I'm studying. Getting an ethnographer's degree? What is that? Slavia asked seriously. Yeah, I want to know too. Never mind. I'll be an ecologist. Well, a career to be proud of. We chatted about random things, and the bus was still nowhere to be seen. It was past 1 already. Time passed by so fast. I guess Slavia understood my thoughts. Shall we go? She smiled. I stood up and headed slowly toward my house. She carefully held onto my arm and looked into my eyes. You know, I'm sure that this year will be better than the previous one. Okay, guys, that's the end of Slavia's ending. Well, her good ending anyway. I don't want to go through and get the bad endings. That doesn't sound like fun. I'm going to call it there. And yeah. Do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.